Sweet Child of Mine, the Guns N' Roses slash Axl Rose. This is an amazing song and has one of the most iconic guitar riffs in the intro and one of the most iconic and crazy solos I've ever heard on guitar. I am very excited to see what Alip can do with this one right here. Now, in the description of his video, the first thing it says is tuning D, B, G, C, A, D. Now, guys, if you don't know music or guitar, you probably don't know what this means. But that means how your strings are tuned. And he's saying it in the order of the strings. First string first, sixth string as last. So the D in the beginning is the first string, which means the lower string, and the D at the end in capital letters is the sixth string, being the higher and the thickest string of them. And it says D, B, G, C, A, D. Again, this gets me so much again, and I don't know why, because I know this bass line is in the original song, but for some reason it just blows my mind how he does it so seamlessly. And again, with his right hand now, he's hammering down the strings on the frets. He's doing the bass line with his right hand there, and it's very clear that he's separating them. Although at a certain point I think the strings overlapped a little bit with the bass line and his and the intro on the guitar riff. Oh man, details, those extra techniques which I talked about in the last video that he adds, which makes it so much harder to play. Like the little bending on the one string that doesn't need to be there, but he does it, which makes it next level. The other like little extra note he puts in there, whilst it's not in the original, but if you hear it, it's like, oh my god, something extra. Like usually with that part, at a certain point they usually do a bending technique to lift up the notes to get a higher note. But here he just goes quickly to the fret next to it to go to the higher note. Probably also because first of all on an acoustic guitar it's much harder to do a clean bend on the strings. They're much stiffer and harder to bend. Plus it's in the beginning next to his capo, which makes it even more difficult to do these bending techniques. So probably that's why he just does this swift movement towards the fret. Actually skipped the second verse there because usually the song is much longer than 3.5 minutes. I think it's close to 5 minutes probably. But I mean, in the second verse and chorus there is less unique in the song. I think it's mostly after that part that it's really building up towards the climax of the song.